Hi guys, this is Anonymous with another Warcraft 3 audio commentary. This time I'm going to be doing something a little different. Instead of shoutcasting the game, this is a game that I've wanted to commentate on from a strategy point of view for a while. Anyway, I'm going to fast forward a bit because the beginning is quite boring. Anyway, this is a game from an NGL match between MYM and SK, so kind of the Battle of the Titans, played about a month ago. And this is SK Lin versus MYM Focus, and I've wanted to commentate this game for a while. It's an Orc Mirror, and it has some of the greatest fights from maybe any Orc Mirror ever. Well, not exactly, but it's got some really good fights in it, and so I want to do a commentary on basically how the micro in those fights works, and perhaps some other things too. So, I'll start by just pointing out the players' builds. Both players going standard Orc Mirror build, which is alter into with a Blade Master into, and a Burrow into grunts, and putting up their and getting their tier 2 tech quickly, because Orc Mirror is all about tier 2, and if you stay at tier 1 too long, you will just lose. Orc Mirror is also all about Blade Master Shadow Hunter these days. Pretty much always has been. Here we see some really boring stuff happening. The Blade Masters are running around in circles around the center fountain, and this is 4x speed, by the way, in case you can't read that. That's why things are moving so fast. I did say I would speed it up. And now they're just attacking each other and getting chased away. Again, not the most interesting thing ever. But, okay, now I'm going to slow it down, because we have Shadow Hunters out at this point. That means both players are tier 2, and so they're going to be putting down their Bestiary and Spirit Lodge. You do need both. You really need both. And as you're going to see here, Spirit Walkers play an essential role in this game and in every Orc Mirror. So yes, Bestiary Spirit Lodge is the way to go. It works. You'll see why here. Anyway, Focus is now taking his expansion, and Lin is doing the same thing. He's going to put up his expansion a little bit afterwards, but it's not really going to matter. The point is that both players are taking quick expansions, and that's because they're cross-spawn on Lost Temple. It's a long way to go. It's not the easiest thing to assault the other player's base on this map. So, well, at least not in cross-spawn. So, they're both going to expand quickly to take advantage of the fact that the other player can't really harass them. Notice that Focus has a Claws of Attack, and Lin has a Circle of Nobility, so for the moment, both players fairly close in terms of items, but that is going to change as Focus is going to get another Claws of Attack, I think from this creep right here. We will see. Yeah, there is Claws of Attack. So, 2 Claws of Attack for Focus, and that's going to make his Blade Master powerful. Like I said, Blade Masters kind of rule Orc Mirror. Blade Master and Shadow Hunter, they're the heroes. They're in charge of the battle, and it's what you do with your heroes that counts the most. The other units are there, they're very important, but the heroes, more than any other unit, have to be microed carefully, which is obvious because they have the spells, they have the massive damage, they have the lots of hit points. So, if you get extra damage on your hero, that's really important. Your hero, you're automatically going to be microing that well. If you could get extra damage on it, that's really helpful. So, now we have a fight going on. Lin just speed scrolled into the middle of Focus's units, and that gave him a bit of an advantage in this fight, because now he gets to attack the back lines, which are not as well defended. Notice that he's sending his Blade Master around immediately to the back to focus on the Raiders, and this Raider is going to get picked here, because even Spirit Link and Healing Wave can't save something that's being focused by the entire army at the same time. And now, Focus is forced to TP, but he did it, in my opinion, too late, because notice how he allowed 2 troops to get caught out, and when you do that against Raiders, it's just not going to go well for you, because you will get ensnared and focused down. And that's exactly what's happening here. Excuse me. So, the grunt goes down. Nothing that can be done to save that, and that's why you do not want to be running away against an army with Raiders in it. You will lose units. If you have to get out, TPing is the best way. It saves you losses. Okay, One thing to notice is that Lyn here has gotten a Scroll of Healing, and Focus I don't believe has one at this point. No, he doesn't. But he does have a Speed Scroll. Scrolls of Healing are important because basically when you think about it, the function of Spirit Link is to spread out the damage on your army. I mean, that's what it does. Half the incoming damage is redirected and spread out across your entire army, so your units take less focus damage. Healing Scrolls heal your entire army equally, so that means if your opponent decides to focus things down, they're less effective. But Spirit Link cancels that out, so and notice that Focus did just get a sneak a kill steal there in the middle of the battle. And anyway, if you have Spirit Link on all your units, Healing Scrolls are very effective, and this is pretty much common sense. Focus has brought out his peons, by the way, and to me this means he's expecting a fight. Peons are another thing to deal with, another thing to think about with Spirit Link, because okay, let's count the units actually. He's got 5 peons here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 other units. So peons are a third of his army. That means since Spirit Link redirects 50% of the damage, a sixth of the damage that's going in. A sixth of the damage, 16% of the damage that Lyn's army will be dealing will be dealt directly to the peons rather than to any other units. So that means he's saving his units 16% damage just by bringing his peons to the battle, and that's huge. That is definitely enough to win you a fight. So peons are a good thing, and they also provide another important role in that they block paths. So it's really hard to focus down Kodo beasts with raiders when there are peons blocking the raiders away from the Kodo beasts, which Focus, I mean, you can see that Focus is now setting up for this fight, and what he's going to do is get his peons out in front, because that way the other units are protected, and he's setting out his Blade Master here to scout, because that way, because this Windwalk is pretty safe, no dust on the other side. And he did get a Healing Wards, we'll see those used. Healing Wards also have good synergy with Spirit Link, but at this level, players kill them pretty fast. In less professional games, often you can get really good use out of a Healing Ward. Now notice he's keeping his peons in front of his Spirit Walkers. I said Kodos, but he's decided to keep them in front of his Spirit Walkers, but then at the last second he pulled them back. So now that Blade Master was able to get all over his Spirit Walkers, but decided not to. He ran right behind the army and then ran out again, which I think was a mistake. Anyway, now Focus does have his Blade Master back there focusing the Spirit Walkers, and that's because they're vulnerable targets. They have less hit points than anything else in the army. Now, what else is he doing? Okay, a good dispel there, and notice that Focus took a little while to replace his Spirit Link. You need to replace that fast. He didn't take very long, but because he's pro and he has 400 APM this game. But, and there, the Healing Ward comes out and gets Focus down very fast. Spirit Link is essential. If you lose Spirit Link, you will lose your units, and you'll lose the game. So, Lyn now focusing on this Spirit Walker, and yeah, a TP just got forced here, and Focus actually, I don't know if you caught that, he did micro one of his Spirit Walkers at the last second to take out an ethereal form Spirit Walker. Keep that in mind. They not only do they hit them, they do extra damage. So, Spirit Walkers are the best way to take out ethereal form Spirit Walkers. They're the only way to do it. Focus had to TP there because his forces got in disarray. His peons did not fulfill their blocking function as well as they needed to have been fulfilling it. And so his forces were very exposed. He had to TP to avoid losing them all. The other thing is that with Spirit Link on your army, at some point, you know, your army can only absorb so much damage. The Spirit Link is going to be doing a fair amount of damage per second to your entire army, and at some point, your army is going to get just too low on health to continue to fight, and at that point, that's when you have to TP or run out. But like I said, don't run out against raiders; it doesn't work out. So that's when you have to TP, when your army gets to that point. And if you do it too late, you will lose a huge amount. It's one disadvantage of Spirit Link. You tend to lose all the units at the same time. No amount of micro is going to save them. You just have to TP. Anyway, here's another fight. And what you'll see is that Focus got a head start here and got his Blade Master focusing down the raiders very fast. Then he stopped. I think he should have just killed it. There, he just goes back and kills it. Now, the other thing that you want to target your Blade Master on is the Shadow Hunter, but the Shadow Hunter is only a good target when it is not Spirit Linked. When it is Spirit Linked, you're going to be doing less damage to it than other units because it has a lot more armor. So that means your Blade Master's damage output is reduced. It's generally better to focus down the units, unless you can catch that spirit